This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeff Gardner.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have another good neighbor on, Ray Traynor with Central Ontario Refrigeration and HVAC, or in short, CORH. Ray, welcome to the show, man. How are you today?
I'm not doing bad, Jeff. I'd like to thank you for having me on the podcast. Super excited, and looking forward to telling you a bit about ourselves.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're all branded up. Seeing the logo in the background, you got the hat, you got the shirt, you got the awards in the background. I love it that you're at the office. It's great, man. So, for the people who haven't heard of CORH before, or maybe you have loyal clients or people that have forgotten, as we do forget. Tell us a little bit about your business. What do you do?
All right. So Central Ontario Refrigeration HVAC, we're a local HVAC and refrigeration service and install company. So we specialize in residential, so homes and subdivisions, and that also includes condominiums as well. So in-suite stuff and that kind of stuff. And we serve the local Barrie area and surrounding area. So pretty much all of Simcoe.
Beautiful. So residential, is there commercial as well, or?
We also do commercial HVAC and refrigeration, as well as appliance repair. So we're very heavy in the restaurant scene as well.
Okay, so anybody from just a local suburb or condominium or restaurant, you guys kind of take care of it all.
Yeah, we've got two divisions with two different leads in each division, and they're both great guys. We've got Michael Archer, who's running our commercial appliance division. We've got Sean Hambley, who's running our install for the commercial and residential division, and then we've got Josh Henson, who's our service manager, and they've all been with me for years and are just great guys.
Beautiful. And so this is your baby, though.
This is my baby. We started this up in 2018 and hope to keep on growing it.
Beautiful. I love it, man. So I'm always curious about this. I love knowing the why behind it or the journey. So tell us a little bit about your journey. Like why HVAC? Why refrigeration? Why take this road?
Well, the reason I really took this road was always like solving problems, mechanically inclined. So out of high school, decided to try and get in the trade, and immediately got an apprenticeship and went through all the schooling. And I was as high as licensed as you can be in the country of Canada by the time I was 23. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. I've been in the trade for about 17 years. Did most of my learning and stuff downtown Toronto with a nice commute, and then we decided to, hey, listen, we want to serve the people of Simcoe County, Barrie. I grew up and lived in Collingwood, which is, in the Simcoe area, and not Collingwood, sorry, Cookstown.
Cookstown.
Cookstown. Collingwood is just where we do some of our condominiums. So I apologize about the mistake there, but we wanted to serve around here. So in 2018, I decided to pack it in at the beginning of the year and start CORH. Beautiful.
Cookstown. Oh my God. I've been there many times. I used to have a partner of mine there, and great little area. And I can imagine the commute to Toronto. I've spent many years in Aurora. I spend my time now in Simcoe County, but when I was out in Aurora, it was Oakville, it was Toronto. There are a lot of driving. It's much more, I don't know, from my experience anyways, more peaceful in Simcoe County. The people I find a little bit more friendly. The community is a little bit more deeply rooted. It's a great place to connect with people. So I worked in the HVAC industry for about 5 years. I don't think we were what you guys are. It was a tough business. It was a tough business for us. It was about 5-6 years. And I heard of many myths and misconceptions that I was constantly explaining to people. So can you tell the audience about some myths or misconceptions about HVAC and refrigeration?
All right. So there's a lot of, I guess, there's a few myths and misconceptions about HVAC as a whole. So let's start with the first. there are lots of honest HVAC guys, and we are not associated with duct cleaning, which there are very much honest people too, but we have gotten a bad rep from door to door and that sort of thing. But, there's a lot of good young people coming up in this trade, and that's just not something that happens too often anymore. So that's one misconception is, you got a lot of great guys in this trade that are looking to work hard and make sure that you're getting the best service and you're comfortable in your house and you have that peace of mind. Some other things are, let's say, the pleated filters. Everyone wants that best filter they can ever have. Those are great to have if you have allergies and stuff, but you know what? You don't have to change it quite as often. You'll get a longer furnace life out of it. If you use one of the ones that allow a bit more air to pass through, right? Saves you some money, and it gives you a longer lasting furnace. The pleated ones are for allergies and stuff like that. So that's a huge misconception in our industry for that. Last but not least, is I'm sorry. I guess I'm getting a little nervous on this podcast here.
It's all good, man.
Another misconception about the industry is that a furnace is kind of like a once in a lifetime purchase. That is maybe 50 years ago, you had that chugging train in your basement that just never died, never had a service call. They were vastly inefficient, and unfortunately, that's just not how things are designed today. They're designed with efficiency, which means parts and stuff have to be changed. So you're looking at 10, 12 years, but the days at 25 to 35 may be gone.
Yeah, and that's what I heard often. We would go into people's homes and they say, this thing's been running for 30 years. What do I have to change it for? And so we tried to educate them. I was a lot younger back then, so I don't know how my delivery went, but we tried to educate them on efficiency. So it's probably a tough question to ask with specificity, but maybe general rule of thumb is like when we talk about efficiency, people are going to be using less gas. They're going to be saving on their bill. Is it better for the environment? Is it a difference from those old I don't even know what those old stacks used to be called, but less efficient furnaces? Does it make that big of a difference?
It does make a huge difference, not only in how much gas you're using, or hydro for that matter, because those old units are, that's back in the 80s when hydro was very cheap. Now, nowadays with the more efficient stuff, you're using less hydro, you're using less gas, they're quieter units. You're going to get more of a comfortable heat. It's going to be more around you, more ambient. It's not going to be quite, blasting heat in one section, overly hot, and then your thermostat turns off in 20 minutes, you're cold again. It repeats the cycle. They're much more efficient with their modulation and just consumption of gas and hydro.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, and that's something I heard 10 to 12 years, something like that. But the overall experience, significant upgrade from the previous furnaces. So I love that. One question for myself. I don't know if you guys deal with this. HEPA filters, is that something that you get a part of?
We get a part of that from time to time. A lot of people, again, with allergies, concerns with, any airborne bacteria, stuff like that, we tend to put them in. They're an absolutely fantastic product. They're just, a little bit more expensive to change and maintain. But, if you have any concerns with bacteria, asthma, anything like that, a HEPA filter is absolutely fantastic to have installed into your home.
Okay, beautiful. I love to know that because, that was a misconception that I heard a fair bit. Every home needs one, or every new building or every new construction is having one input installed into them. I don't know that that's the case. That's what I heard. But I'm glad you clarified that for us. If you're worried about any pollutants, bacteria, allergies, anything like that, I also know that they are a great product. So yeah, thanks for pointing it out. Now, aside from business, so we can get to know about Ray a little bit. You run a business. I know you got a million things on your plate. So entrepreneurs, that's where they spend most of their time. And hopefully for most of us, our business is fun. I certainly enjoy mine. You look like you enjoy yours, but outside of business, without a doubt. So I love it. Outside your business, what do you get up to, Ray? What does Ray do on the weekends for fun, to chill out or relax?
Well, if you ask my wife, she'd say it's just a different type of work, or anything and everything. When I go home, I can do anything from, I have a forge, so we do small forging of, railroad spikes into butter knives and stuff like that. Just, fun little projects. I'm no expert by any means. But I do that kind of stuff. I also just moved onto a farm last year. So a big part of my hobby is chickens and, having a garden and doing that kind of stuff. I find it very relaxing to do that. Also have two fabulous dogs, Jersey and Axel. Axel is our older dog. He was a rescue from Simcoe County. Fantastic dog. And then our dog, Jersey, she's just the worst morning dog. I didn't know you could have a dog that had bad mornings, but we do. So, so we'll get up to anything and everything, but most of the time I'm working on my baby. Right here.
Yeah, that's great, man. So you run the business, you got the farm, the chickens, the dogs, and you also do, so what would you even call that? Forging?
Forging. Yeah, forging, foundry, schmelting. We have a lot of fun. We make different, so with the kind of business I have, we have a lot of scrap. So sometimes I'll take some of that scrap home and I'll make iron, ingots of, hearts or stars, and sell that to jewelry makers, just as a hobby. Or, some people, when they're buying the eggs off the farm there, they'll come pick them up. They think they're kind of neat and cool. So that's something we do. Also, just as a hobby, every now and then, buy and sell storage units, kind of because I saw that TV show once. So I tried that. So, cool. Get up to a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I love it, man. It seems like you're an explorer. You're out there trying to find out what you click with, and you're out there doing it. I love those YouTube videos on schmelting, if I'm saying it right, and forging. I think they're just so cool to take something natural like that, something that was created from so much pressure and different minerals in the world, and then turn it into something that can be useful for somebody else. I just think that's great. Now, this question I always provide a little bit of context in. It's about the life trials and challenges that we've been through. And I like to point out that in this day and age, I feel like there's a larger portion of us, especially on the digital landscape, that shows all that is perfect in our life. And sometimes we even polish up what already looks good to make it look better. And we don't really get a real glimpse of what's going on. And somebody that's looking at that may even feel worse walking away, saying like, how is everybody's life so perfect but mine? Because life is challenging. And I think it's through those challenges that we get the opportunity to move into those moments of discomfort. And I think that's where the real growth comes from. I think human beings really have this anti-fragility about them, that when pressure is applied in some way, mental or physical, we now have the opportunity to get the reward of growth. I think when we're constantly in a state of comfort, it's maybe not always the place to be all the time. I love being comfortable, but maybe not all the time. So I found it to be very valuable to share my life challenges with other people. I work as a counselor on the weekend, kind of my passion project, in an addictions facility. And that's all we do. It's just share our life experiences, the beauty and the scars. So I like to provide that little bit of context before we go into it. But Ray, can you share with the audience any trials and tribulations, hardships that you've had to face, that you now maybe sucked in the moment, but now that you look back, say, I'm happy that happened. That's helped me become the person I am today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that. Very good childhood, nothing to complain there, but you get into the work world and you really realize how the world works. And so the biggest challenge was staying in this trade, to be honest with you. My first mentor, teacher, journeyman, he taught me very well. He taught me work ethic, but he was not an overly kind man. Would talk down to you. You're a young kid, make you do questionable work things. So just staying and making very minimal money at the time, because they weren't required to give us yearly raises or anything. So 5 years of constant stagnant pay and stuff like that, and driving down to Toronto just to get what I'd say is not verbally abused, but something close to it. So just staying through that. I mean, that was hard, but it all paid off in the end. Obviously, here I am loving what I do. So that's one. Another big trial, I guess, would be COVID.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else, I know everyone has a COVID story. For myself, we were a very new company. We had just started the year before, just started to hire people, and then that happened. And during that time, me and my wife had just moved, just ripped out our brand new house's kitchen, bathroom, entire living area, and both bedrooms. And then we were told all permits were closing down. You couldn't get anything. So this is how me and my wife found out we were meant to be together, because we were living in one bedroom in the basement with a microwave oven and an outhouse on our front lawn for 6 months. So if she stayed with me through all that, I stayed with her, and it was hard, but we made it through. We're stronger, and we were able to get the house done, and it's absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, it really brings you closer together when you can go through those hard things and come out on top and share those experiences.
Oh yeah, man. So there it is. For all the couples out there that don't quite know where you stand with your spouse, what you do is you go in a basement with a microwave, you put an outhouse outside, you tear the rest of your house apart, and then you go for 6 months. If you can make it through that, you are approved. You are a strong couple. And now you're leading a business. So it's like, sometimes we talk about these stories and we're like, all of that sucked. But what the lessons learned from it, it's interesting. Life kind of makes you pay for your reward in some way, whether it's great character traits or a business or whatever it is. There seems like there is a prerequisite of some type of suffering or pain, but you learned from that mentor long ago. You said work ethic. So that's great. That's a hell of a skill to have. But then I imagine, just you being on here and sharing your message and impacting the community, I imagine you're a great leader to your team. So you learned from a cautionary tale, it seems like, from your previous mentor, and then going through COVID. It's a hell of a testament. You wouldn't believe, maybe you would, how many businesses started in 2018, 2019, even early 2020 in Simcoe County, and have been on this show sharing a similar story. It's a hell of a testament to those businesses to stay alive during that time when it was so uncertain, forced lockdowns. We all know what it was like. So kudos to you, man. And I appreciate you sharing that story with us. Those were two great stories. Kudos to your wife too.
Oh, she's a strong one, stronger than me.
Yeah, I can imagine she is strong. What's one thing you wish our listeners, which could be your current clients, which could be clients that have heard, individuals that have heard of you, that have forgotten, or people that have never heard of CORH before, what's one thing or one or two things you wish they knew about your business specifically?
Well, about my business is, let's say we're not just installers, we're educators. We're not in there just to whip that thing in and make a buck. CORH looks for long-term relationships. If we install your furnace, we expect to be talking with you for hopefully the 10, 12 years until maybe you need another one, or you upgrade the system or move and call us again. We like to show people how things are working, make them understand how their unit works, so they don't have to try and fumble through that giant manual that they slap with you at the end of the day and say, read this, you'll figure it out. We like to sit everyone down, explain how it works, explain how other options work if they want to go down that route, because there's no substitute for educating your customers on your products that you're selling.
Yeah, I mean, you just nailed it. Like that is what we do as a company with our print, with our digital, with our networking events, with our podcast, everything we do. We think education is what changes the world, information that it can impact others and increase the quality of their life. Whereas there's a lot of people out there, leaders, businesses, that don't want to share their secrets. They don't want to share their education. because I think that they're afraid if they empower their customers and their customers could do it on their own. And I think that's just such a limited mindset. If you are good at what you do, you care about your people, they won't want to do it on their own, or a large portion of them will just be like, he's just my guy. If I have an HVAC or refrigeration problem, I trust him. And as soon as you have trust, they hand off that work to the expert. I'm very happy that you're willing to educate the public. I think we all are better served because of it. I think that positive information ripples out much wider than we can see. And I think that is the road to long-term client relationships. So I love that that's your goal here, which leads me into my next question. And it's the one I don't put on the questionnaire. It's kind of my secret little question. I like to point out a little bit of context prior to this. I think being an entrepreneur or a son or a father or a spouse, community member, they're all facets, categories of life. I think the main game that we're playing is the game of life. That's the arena we're in, and we play these different characters within it. So I've been very lucky to have some very good mentors for a long period of time in my life. I feel to be a good leader, you got to be a great follower. So that's been my job with them, is just to follow the path they've laid out for me. And they all encourage me to think about, what impact have you had already? What impact are you trying to do right now? And what are you trying to leave going forward? Not necessarily legacy, but what is your impact on your community, your family, your world? So I like to ask other people that question. How are you trying to impact the world? What's your goal? What are you trying to leave behind, Ray?
I'm trying to leave behind a company that's known for helping out its community, for being honest, for again, education. Those are all the things, I strive to achieve. We take great pride in all my technicians being very friendly, approachable people. And what we want to leave behind is a community company that people can just learn to rely on. It's CORH. You can call them. They're from Simcoe. We trust them. Everyone knows CORH. They do this for the community. Now, I want to grow my community involvement. And again, I'm hoping that soon we can start that when, we're still going through some COVID recovery, but we're setting up to help, some food banks for some Angus Food Bank for some free fridges, and trying to reach out to different communities and help where we can, because you can help in so many different ways, and it is a learning process to find all the ways, but there are so many, from reaching out to your local counselor and seeing how you can come out and educate some people at some events they're at, or donating or helping out with some community programs. Anything you can do with the community to leave a name behind a good taste in people's mouths is what we want to be known for. That's why we're here. We're not here to become, the biggest name in HVAC over Enercare or something like that. We just want to be a solid community-based company that serves everyone well.
Love it, man. Whoever nominated you, thank you, because this is what we're trying to do. All of our team live and work and are consumers and go to the schools of Simcoe County. That's the idea here. Educate people in some way, give back in some way to uplift the whole community, and we can all kind of rise together. That's our little slogan at our addiction facility at the weekend is rise together, just by sharing our experiences and caring for one another. It sounds so cheesy and cliche, but I think that is the goal. It is not easy to do. So kudos to you for that being your goal, Ray. I think that is a very virtuous goal, and I think we need more of that these days.
Well, thank you.
How can people find out about CORH, Ray?
So if you want to, well, you can contact us. Our office number is 705-517-0174. You can also find out a lot about us at our website, which is corh.ca, CORH.ca. It tells you all about our commercial programs and our residential ones. There's also our CORH Facebook page. You can find out a lot about us on there. And then, you can reach out on our website as well to get, free quotes or a free consultation, just to see see how we can help you, or even if you need us at all.
Beautiful. So there it is. I love that free part. So there's some people that are, I'm looking at the furnace all the time. I'm looking at my AC, whatever, and it's going to be a large cost and I'm uncertain. I don't have the information. Just give them a call just to get them there so that they can help educate you on it, help you along the path of making a better, less costly, more enjoyable experience decision. Call the experts. That's what we're trying to do here, so that the individual who needs these things done can get back to doing what they do best, which is running their business or being a father or a mother or a son or whatever it is. Let the experts take care of it. They'll even go there at no cost to put you on that path. I think that's great, Ray. Really appreciate having you on the show, man. It was a blast talking to you.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. It was a great time.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com or call 705-413-3775.